They just come to the houses. I did an open house on my listing. It was like a $1.5 million listing, and I had these kids come in the other day, and I was like, I kind of, you don't want to judge because you don't know, but they were just hanging out. Like, I asked them, like, you guys doing anything market wise? They're like, no, we're just driving around. I was like, okay, well, welcome, I guess.
See what $1.5 million listing looks like.
Yeah, here's my card. Give it to your parents. Thanks.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the CEO Hot Seat. Today we got a special guest, Donald Barbour with the Keller Williams Group. Donald, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, good morning.
Absolutely. Pleasure having you on. So tell us a little bit about, I know you, just knowing you from personally, I know you started out as a teacher and shifted into the real estate world. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, that journey actually starts back in the early 90s. Coming out of high school, I'm a bit older than you guys. I was going to get into real estate and got a 2-year degree specializing in real estate, and it was business management. And started to dive into it, and then I veered off. I was coaching year-round swimming, started coaching a lot. People suggested, hey, you're so great with the kids. Why don't you think about being a teacher? Okay. So next thing I know, I'm back in school, getting my 4-year, and I end up teaching a little over 14 years before we up in Virginia. And then we ended up moving down here. So I thought, hey, you know what? I'm getting a little disgruntled with the politics of teaching. So now maybe give the whole real estate thing. So I took about a 18-year sidetrack.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I made the move, went to school here for real estate 2014, started in January 2015. So a little over 8 years now in the business.
Awesome. Right. Got started right before everything kind of started blowing up in this area. Did you move directly to Greenville and then start real estate right when you moved here?
Yeah. So I always tell people, look, for people getting into it, I mean, I moved to this area knowing less than 5 people and have managed to build something out of this. So, if I can do it starting that low on the pole, knowing no one, because that's the biggest thing about real estate is getting connected with what they call your sphere of influence, your SOIs.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, all of my SOIs were 2 states away in Virginia. So I had to just get out, network, and hustle. You know?
I see it's cool. I see you like network with other hooky fans, and I think that's really cool. Like, your like demographic, and like you're really taking your passions and making them into work, right? Like it's not like, it's more back end networking, right? Because you're not like, hey, let me sell your house, let me sell your house.
Yeah.
But when you're hanging out with like minded people, good conversation is going to come up, and then you can kind of capitalize on that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, being a Hokie fan, and my master's degree is from Virginia Tech. My wife went to Virginia Tech. So growing up just 45 minutes from that campus, when I moved here, it was like, holy crap, there's a ton of engineers that graduated from Virginia Tech. They have an amazing alumni group. I got involved with the group, got involved with their board, doing a lot of their social networking type stuff and communication, and really, built relationships, because it's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is building relationships. I don't need to talk real estate with them. A lot of them will naturally come up and ask me, and that starts a conversation.
Yeah.
Yet when people see you working hard for an organization or a group or whatever, and volunteering your time, they associate that with, hey, this guy's probably not a half bad realtor either. He probably works just as hard, if not harder, on the business side of things.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think that's the best thing about real estate, which we've mentioned before, is that like you're kind of building your relationships off like your personality. Your personal brand is really what you're selling. You're not trying to just sell and push the fact that you can, do a transaction for them. You're pushing the fact that you can connect with them and work well with them and have a good relationship. And that's the strongest thing, I think.
Absolutely.
So what I think the craziest thing is you went from a structured, secure job with pretty decent benefits, I would assume.
Absolutely, yeah.
And jumping into real estate in a totally new area. So what was the toughest hurdle with that?
Yeah.
That first year was a challenge. I mean, it was, I think I did 6 transactions that year, which was right at like the average. So it wasn't a bad year, yet it wasn't like, hey, let's go out and party
Yeah.
with that money. It was a struggle, and it took a lot to get those 6 transactions. And then, thankfully, I've built on that every year since then. Yet, there is a reason why I believe it's just over 70% get out of the business in the first year, and within 2 years, it's more like around 80% or a little more, because everybody gets wrapped up in that HGTV type
Yeah.
life of
$1 million
where,
listings.
yeah, $1 million listings, and it all happens in within a 30-minute episode. Hey, we're
Yeah.
clear to close in 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
So, you see the people that are basket weavers for a living that are wanting to look at $1.5 million property. It's like, okay,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
That trips me out. It's like past Terminator looking like $3.2 million budget or something funny.
They just come to the houses. I did an open house on my listing. It was like a $1.5 million listing, and I had these kids come in the other day, and I was like, I kind of, you don't want to judge because you don't know, but they were
Yeah.
just hanging out.
Yeah.
Like I asked them, like, you guys doing anything market wise? They're like, no, we're just driving around. I was like,
Hanging
okay,
out.
well, welcome, I guess.
See what $1.5
Yeah.
million listing looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah. Here's my card. Give it to your parents.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
So being in real estate from 2015, did you start with Keller Williams?
I did. So I've been at the Greenville Upstate, which is by the small downtown airport since January of
Yeah.
2015. I did a year on my own before joining the J. Michael Manley team, which I did for 7 years, and just recently rolled off of that team February 1st. So back
Yeah.
to being, I'm still in the same office, and actually my office is maybe 20 feet from theirs. So I
Yeah.
still see and hang out with them a lot. Yet I'm back on my own, still with Keller Williams Greenville Upstate.
Nice.
What made you decide to go back on your own?
I felt so there's a lot, and I don't want to dive too far down this hole yet. I've built up a lot of business on my own through Virginia Tech. Food Trucks of Greenville that I started was getting a lot of business from that. The bourbon group and barbecue clubs that I was doing. So I was starting to see a lot of repeat business and referrals. And also, I was asked to be on the leadership committee, what they call the ALC at Keller Williams. So you have to hit a certain production. And they said, "Hey, would you be interested?" And I said, "I would do it if I can have the seat of career development," which is fancy talk for their education
Yeah.
department. So that allowed me to, last year in 2021, I really rediscovered my love for education.
Yeah.
So it was a way of teaching classes, getting people to come in and teach classes, and really build that side, because educating agents, you got to continuously grow if you want to be successful.
For sure.
And so I found this, or rediscovered this passion of kind of marrying real estate with education. And I'm doing that. I've been asked to do that again this year, so I'm doing that role again. And in the meantime, I still need to test at the state level for my broker's license. So I've been working on that. So I just have a few things. I didn't feel like it was fair to the team. Also, that I was kind of, while real estate is obviously my main thing, I'm still kind of looking into these other avenues.
Pursuing other things.
Yeah.
So what has it been difficult getting back on your own? You've already had that established business, but now you're kind of stepping away from the actual, security again with your team. Has it been difficult getting back on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. December was a distraction because of the broker thing. And then I roll into January with still dealing with some broker stuff. And And then going out to, I just got back from California for the big Keller Williams, what they call family reunion out there. And so, as you two know, the biggest thing that you got to nail down are getting your systems in place.
Yep.
So that is what I'm in the, I was in a program called Boomtown for 7 years. And so I'm rolling everything into what Keller Williams has is called Command.
Okay.
So I'm getting people set up on what they call smart plans to keep in touch with your database, because that's what you need to do.
Sure.
And so that's been the biggest thing is finding that time in the chaos of this real estate world
Just to sit down and
fine tune those systems. But I feel like, within the next few weeks, I'll have that nailed down and hit the ground running. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the toughest thing. I've switched platforms with construction a few times with CRMs and different processes, and it's amazing how much time that will take and how much effort it takes out of you, and like you're still trying to focus on your regular day to day, and now trying to implement this whole new process and everything. We just rolled out at platform in Blackstream too, so now trying to build this whole new data stream, it's like, gosh,
it's like drinking from a fire hose with Command, and I'm having to watch a lot of videos, almost daily meetings with our tech trainer to fine tune and make sure I'm not wasting time. I'm doing everything right, getting things in place. So
Well, where are you finding the time? Because I mean, like he mentioned, the barbecues, all these extra things. Like, where do you find the time to do all that?
You've got to follow your calendar. When I leave here, I'll go to the office and I will lead gen for an hour and a half to 2 hours today, following up with leads and past clients and whatnot. Tonight I have my big bourbon event at Bullwinkle's Tavern. And that supports the Shriners Hospital. So so I'll be there we're expecting 35 to 45 people at that event tonight. So as y'all know, I network a lot. So that leads into real estate stuff along the way. So, at the end of the day, it's a full contact sport, whether you're in person, face to face, or whether you're making a call, sending an email, sending a text, a postcard. It's all about staying connected with people. So I feel like I do that naturally at a high level. So I know it will lead to great things.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're able to take to touch back on where you said like you want to be the educator on the board. That's awesome that you're able to take, both your career paths and merge them together, right? Like, I think that's really cool. And it really comes full circle. What's got you interested in this broker in charge, and what does that look like? I'm sure that's been a tough process.
Yeah. Why take more tests?
I mean, the great thing is that it allows me something like that, even if I don't do anything with that at all, from here on out, it allows me to serve my clients at a higher level by learning more, putting more into place.
Yeah.
There's a possibility of being a broker. I do not have a desire at this time, probably not ever, of opening up my own brokerage, because there's a ton of liability and insurance stuff and everything else involved with that. Yet, I do like having that option to possibly roll into a broker position at some point. It's
just another tool in the tool belt.
Exactly. It's another tool. And at the end of the day, it can only help and not hurt to have the broker's license.
Sure.
You've been at Keller Williams 8 years.
Yeah.
That's kind of rare for a real estate agent to be that long at a brokerage. Tell us about that. Like what's got you sticking around at Keller Williams?
Yeah, what's kept you there?
So I mean, hardly a week goes by where I'm not getting an email or a phone call or a text from another brokerage, and they like to dangle all kinds of carrots and all. Hey, 100%
100% commission.
Just
but there's a monthly fee,
a flat transactional fee, and this, that, and the other. However, I tick a little differently than most people. I don't go for the nice shiny objects. My big thing is, okay, you're offering 100% that. So what are you doing? What are you offering me on educating me and helping me grow?
Yeah.
Oh, we offer a Zoom thing from this person out in California. I'm like, no, I don't do Zoom.
Yeah.
I need face to face with
Sure.
someone. And, you know, what do you do for your agents if they fall on hard times? You know, Keller Williams has KW Cares,
Yeah.
and agents that go through sickness, a house fire, flood, KW Cares is able to help them out and help those areas out that are affected by that. So when you ask someone, what do you do with that? What do you do to give back to others and help the community? All of a sudden, there's like this glazed look
For sure.
in their eyes because they that's when it hits them that
Yeah.
I'm not into the whole 100% commission thing because I know I'm going to have fewer transactions, fewer leads, and no education to fall back on.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a give or take.
Mhm.
You know, it anywhere is what you make out of it. So,
Absolutely.
and that's I love their God family then business. I mean, that's their whole vision, mission statement, whatever you want to call it, is God family then business, and that's a big part because we're in a world where it's like you mentioned God, and it's like,
You shy
wait,
away, yeah.
who said that? Who said that?
Yeah.
So yeah, that I just love you know, it's a big family, man.
Yeah.
And Gary Keller, I mean, everybody's riding his coattails right now. So
He came in on the freaking zip line, didn't he, at the retreat?
Oh, wow.
I seen him like shoot across the crowd. Somebody posted a video of him like riding into the stage at the family reunion on like a zip line type thing.
I have not seen that actually. So yeah, I was not there
sick.
for a zip line. So
That's a sweet entrance.
I would love to see that
Yeah.
if someone got Gary up on a zip line.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Maybe
sweet.
it was a stunt double,
Yeah.
and then all of a
And then
sudden he
he's up
popped
there.
out. Hey,
Awesome. Well, let's step back a little bit. So you did 6 transactions your first year. Year 2, what'd that look like?
year 2, I believe, was 13. So it seems like there's been a growth of anywhere from 5 to 8 additional transactions as the years have gone on.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what do you attribute to that? Do you attribute just to networking, or do you attribute to like self-belief or confidence, or like what's been the biggest factor in you almost essentially being able to double every year?
I think customer service is what it comes down to. You know, taking care of people before, during, and after the contract to close process. Because I tell you, man, it really gets to me when I meet with someone at a listing appointment who I haven't done business with before, and I say, well, who helped you get the house? And they can't remember their realtor's name.
That's the problem.
And
right?
that's instantly, you know, that realtor must have just cashed their check when
yeah.
and then never ghosted the person, so to speak,
Yeah.
after that. So I can tell you, every person I've done business with, and they're going to hear from me at a minimum once a quarter,
Yeah.
if not twice a quarter,
Yeah.
through text, through phone calls, email, whatever. It's all about staying connected, and that's what keeps you going. The networking is a huge piece. That Virginia Tech group, I think last year I did 9 of my transactions were through that Virginia Tech group.
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah, wow.
I give part of my commission when they refer me or use me personally. I give part of my commission to the local scholarship fund that we give to someone in this area that will be going to Virginia Tech.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
They know I give part of my commission to a charity of their choosing. So some people use me simply because of some of the good things that comes out of it.
And you're very
supporting
intentional with what you're doing, which is great.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you've got to give back to, you know, I'm a big supporter of Shriners for a variety of reasons, so I always let them know that, hey, at the end of this transaction, you know, let me know of an organization that you're passionate about, whether it's animal rescue, some sort of cancer research organization. And I always let them know if there's not, then it will either go to Shriners Hospital, the local one here, or it will go towards the Mosaic Ministry at Grace Church, which is that works with kids and young adults that have special needs. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
yeah, always trying to give back in some way.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah, I found that's probably one of the best things and kind of what I wanted to do when I joined the real estate was not like just be a transaction broker. You know, I didn't want to just go door knocking and just make, cashing checks. I really wasn't into that.
Yeah,
I think it helped being, having a career already and having that income. So I didn't have to jump into just, I need to get money. I can actually build the relationship and take the time to get to know somebody and learn more about them personally and then help them find that right home.
Yeah.
I think that makes way, just a better overall trajectory for your business, because they're going to refer you to the next person and so on and so forth, their neighbors and everything as well. So
absolutely. And I do things like I think the majority of last year I did a monthly Domino's pizza giveaway for two past clients.
I've seen that.
And, when I was still with the Manly team, we did the Thanksgiving pie giveaways and things like that. We've rented out the Camelot movie theater for past clients before. We've done a food truck rodeo. So, it's all about doing events nowadays too. That's another way to stay connected to your past clients as well.